Can there be more than one administrator in a probate sale? It's a great question we got from another realtor on our channel, and we are so happy to get that. So please ask questions. We're going to answer that right now. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brendan Mohr, California Realtor and Certified Probate and Trust Specialist by the California Association of Realtors.
And I'm Bill Heyman. I'm a licensed professional California fiduciary. I'm also a licensed California real estate broker, a licensed Nevada realtor, and I'm a bonded and registered legal document assistant in both California and Nevada.
Now, please like our video right now, subscribe to our channel. Want your probate done for little to no cost? Well, every day we help people save thousands of dollars and eliminate headaches with our one-of-a-kind probate administration service and real estate listing combo. So please reach out to us about that, or reach out to us with any questions about probate real estate. Comment on this video. Our contact information is below, so please email, text us, call us, because we can help you. So Bill, can there be more than one administrator in a probate sale?
Well, the short answer to that is yes, of course, there can be. It's just a matter of if that's what the family wants to do, or maybe in the will, there's co-executors named. So sure, yeah, you can have more than one administrator or executor in an estate, absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen it on multiple times. From a real estate perspective, I like it if there's no more than two, because all the real estate documents only have 2 lines for sellers, and then it's you have to get these extra documents and stuff just to have a third on there. But it's up to you. You could have, I guess you could have 20. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's any law against it.
I don't think there is, but I wouldn't advise 20. But
I wouldn't. But let's go through some pros and cons of having multiple administrators.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. What would you say is the first one?
Well, let's talk about pros. Well, you can, if you have more than one administrator or executor, you can share the workload. You can split up the work between different people, and who knows, maybe one of the co-administrators is good at getting the house fixed up. Maybe the other is good at managing funds and money. But yeah, splitting the workload, that can be a pro.
Yeah, because really the job of an administrator is pretty difficult. There's a lot going on there, more than they would probably realize, which is great when they do have the option to appoint somebody else an administrator, like a professional fiduciary like yourself.
Why don't you hit the next one?
Sure. You mentioned a little bit there, but varied skills. People have different talents in different areas. So that can be helpful. Maybe some people say if there's real estate involved, maybe some people are more involved, like they've bought or sold a house before. Well, somebody else is really good with numbers and inventories and organization, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
How about another pro?
Sure. Checks and balances. That's another thing. If you have more than one administrator, they can each kind of keep an eye on each other and make sure that no one particular person is doing things they shouldn't be doing. Just, again, checks and balances, making sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah.
So this next one is either a pro or a con. There's a downside to this one, but it is a possibility that faster choices are made, because more ideas can speed up decisions, perhaps. Now, how about one final pro on this?
Well, I guess you could maybe call it conflict prevention. Having more than one administrator kind of minimizes, hopefully, favoritism. One particular, because a lot of times when you have multiple administrators, it's usually family members. It's probably siblings who are acting as co-administrators. But when you have co-administrators, you can hopefully eliminate favoritism. And what I mean by that is, in the will, mom always thought you were the favorite. Well, no, not necessarily, because we're co-administrators. She named us equally. So, it can kind of take care of that emotional family conflict thing that sometimes goes on.
Yeah, well, let's go into some cons here.
We'll get the first one.
Okay, I'll get the first one here. This is one of the big ones for me. When it comes to a real estate sale, everybody has to sign the documents. So if there's one administrator who maybe has a job where they work a lot, can't get to their email, maybe they don't use email very well, and because a lot of the documents are signed via digital signature. Maybe they're just not as responsive, but everybody has to sign the documents once there are agreed terms. They all have to agree on the terms too.
Sure, absolutely.
How about one?
Well, when we've talked about this in other videos, how communication is such a big factor in probate and real estate sales. And you can have a problem if you've got more than one administrator and one of them decides to go quiet and not communicate well with the others. It can cause problems. So if you don't have good communication among the co-administrators, yeah, that's going to be a problem. That's probably going to lead to some delays and difficulties.
Yeah, and delays, we talked about it before, time is not on your side in probate. You want to get these things done quickly.
Yep.
So sometimes one person on point is better.
Yep. So once you hit the next one.
Yeah, this is something that can cause delays is disagreements, conflicting opinions. They can slow decisions. And the conflicting opinion is whether or not we're selling the house, whether or not it's time to sell the house, whether or not to spend money to fix up certain things, to maintain the mortgage, or it could be other things about the estate.
Sure. We've had situations where we've had an administrator of an estate who lives in a separate home or residence, and the other heir or heirs are living in the probate home. And while technically they've all agreed that they're going to sell the house, well, the ones living in the home are not that anxious to get out, so they kind of might drag their feet at times in getting out, and again, that can cause delays.
Yeah, it can cause delays. It can cause all sorts of conflicts, and it's just better to resolve that quickly. So sometimes one administrator there calling the shots is the best way to do it.
Yeah,
you have to be strong as an administrator, though.
You do.
And there's a lot of really hardworking administrators out there.
Sure.
And a lot of times, the other members of the estate, the heirs or beneficiaries, don't understand what they're going through.
Yep, absolutely.
So I'd say, why don't you hit the next one?
Sure. Well, this is kind of the opposite of one we said on the pros. Slow decisions. Just like we said in the pros, where maybe you have situations where you've got co-administrators working well together and making faster decisions. Sometimes the opposite is true. You have administrators that are not working well together, and that's going to cause very slow decisions and cause more delay.
Yeah, sometimes I've seen it where I have multiple administrators and they're asking me to tell them when to sell the house. right now, let's do it. But I can't pick you up and take you out of your house. I can't move your stuff for you. They need to be able to make that decision, and a lot of times when it's multiple people, maybe one doesn't want to move right away if they're living there, and the other does, and it causes some issues.
Yep. Once you hit the next one.
Oh, sure. Well, more complexity. I mean, more people means more complications, and that goes into a lot of the things that we just mentioned. Whether it's delays, poor communication, decision making, all of that, it makes everything just more complex. From a real estate agent perspective, just when I need to get things signed, one may not use email. Maybe you can only get a hold of them after 9 p.m. or something like that. And a lot of times in real estate, I need a document that day, right away. And the probate side of things, a lot of times you need all sorts of different documents.
Absolutely.
Very quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, why don't you hit the, I think this might be the last one.
Might be the last one. I guess we could call it uneven or unfair effort. And what I mean by that is, maybe you've got 3 co-administrators, and maybe one of them is ending up doing everything. The other 2 are just kind of happy to sit around and not do much. And that's really not fair, because as Brendan said, it can be hard to be an administrator. You can have a lot to do, and if you've got 3 co-administrators and 2 of them really don't do much, that poor third one's going to end up doing everything, and they're still going to require all 3 of their signatures on everything.
Yeah, so. Right. And one of the things that they're maybe waiting on is the effort of actually signing documents or making time to do it. Maybe they have to travel to do something, to sign some documents or something to that effect. So just the effort of signing documents. Yeah. Whereas one administrator could have signed everything. Yep. But it's up to your decision. Sometimes there are good reasons to have multiple. Yeah. Sometimes there aren't. And it's purely your decision.
The family's decision. Whatever they want to do. But Getting back to the initial question, can there be multiple administrators or executors? Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Now, somebody asked me whether one can have full authority or limited authority. Please watch our video, Full Authority versus Limited Authority. But the simple answer to that is what?
Well, to my knowledge, no. You can't have, let's say you've got 3 co-administrators, one can't have full authority and another limited authority. That would never work. So it's either all full authority or all limited, one or the other.
Yeah, if they wouldn't have any sort of difference in what authority or what they're able to do, really would need all of their signatures to do everything. And logically, if one had limited authority and the other had full authority, well, that defeats the purpose of full authority.
Correct.
Because in limited authority, you need the court to confirm all these things. So if one has full authority, the other has limited authority, you still need to get court's approval for everything.
Yeah, it's going to default to the limited. Yeah, I would imagine.
So to our knowledge, that's not something that would happen. I guess it's possible, but essentially, well, in that case, you have limited authority. Right? Well, that's all great information, but I think that you probably want to know more about the whole probate real estate process and the timeline involved, everything from start to finish. So please watch perhaps our most important video next to our one on how much does probate cost in California and how to hire a probate real estate agent, is the probate real estate timeline. It's probate real estate from start to finish, and it's going to start right now. It's going to link right above Bill's head.